So I'm going to use these Nuvo drops. I haven't used them in a while, so it's like stuck. Oh my Lord. Oopsie daisy. Hey there everyone, Laurel Beard here, and today I'm going to make two cards doing some very simple watercoloring. These are cards that you can do with your kids, and then you can take a few things you might have in your stash and jazz them up a little bit more because these are so simple cards. So let's get to it. All right, so this is a piece of watercolored cardstock that I have taped down with my lovely purple tape that it's purple, number one, and it's so great it doesn't tear my paper. Can't tell you how many projects that I've created, and then when I peel up the tape, my paper comes along with it, and I get really, really angry. I'm also using some Nuvo Aqua brush markers, any kind of watercolor, whatever you have will work. Right? So I sprayed the paper with water because this is like my hidden secret. Spray your paper with water before you add your watercolor medium to your card, and the water is going to basically do all the work for you, no talent required. This looks like a hot mess, I know, but I feel like, and I've said this before in a past video that I actually titled, Anyone Can Watercolor, the uglier the better. I'll link it right up here for you. But I feel like the uglier it looks, the better it's going to be when it dries. So keep that in mind when you are doing any kind of watercoloring, whether it's with expensive watercolors and kids watercolors from the craft section at Target, whatever. You know, I don't feel like you need to invest in high dollar watercolors or mediums to create beautiful backgrounds. So I'm just, again, adding color. I'm drying my panel as I go just to kind of speed up the process and also make this video not so long. Now this is gouache. This is gouache from ARTEZA or ARTEZA. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but they are very affordable as far as art supplies. I have their watercolors. I have their gouache. I have some metallics. They're really fantastic quality. And I'll link to this little batch I got below. You can get it from Arteza Direct or Amazon even, but I just like these watercolors. Anyway, moving on. So I'm using gouache because I need my white to really stand out. And gouache will sit on top of the paper and not sink down under the watercolor. So here I am, and this is going to be a candle, by the way. Doesn't look like, looks like an exclamation point, actually. Or an eye, because an exclamation point, it looks like an upside down exclamation point. Right. So for now, this looks like an eye, but eventually this is going to be a candle. So I am adding the gouache, the white gouache, and drying and adding and drying and adding and drying and so forth until I get the consistency of the white that I want. The outline of that dot, as we're going to call it right now, because it's not really the candle yet, is just kind of just like a shadow or whatnot. So again, layering, drying, layering, drying. Now, while I'm doing this, I want to talk about Skillshare because both of these designs that I'm doing today, I was inspired from a couple of Skillshare's classes that I saw. So Skillshare has like, I don't know, 20,000 classes or ranging from anything. I don't know, crocheting, cooking, painting, stamping. I mean, there's Photoshop for dummies. I don't have Photoshop, but I do have Procreate on my iPad. So I've bookmarked some Procreate classes because I have absolutely no idea how to use it. I mean, there's just everything under the sun. I do have 2 months free. A coupon down below. If you are a new user, you can get it in for free and you can check it out for yourself. It's linked right below in the description for you. But I just love it. I have several favorite teachers that I've taken classes from before that I've bookmarked, and I get notified every time they have a new class just because I like them that much. But there's just, I mean, there's something out there for everyone, right? It's just fantastic. So for these card designs, I just opened up Skillshare and I think I typed in handmade Christmas watercolored cards and a whole bunch came up. And I just clicked on a couple of classes where I liked the thumbnails. And I just adore it. Classes range from 5 minutes to an hour and a half. You have access to them. They're just fun. I'm going to show you actually some footage from my Skillshare screen when I did screen sharing in a minute. All right, so enough about that for now. So I've got my candle. I'm happy with the consistency. I'm flicking on some white gouache and some blue gouache down below. It took me a long time to learn how to say gouache because it's spelled funny to me, right? It's like gouache, but it's gouache. rhymes with squash, as someone told me. So I'm just going to go in and finish out. It's starting to look like a candle, I think, right? I hope so. And now you see that the white around the candle flame is kind of like a shadow. Anyway, I'm just going in and having fun. Whatever, your whole background can be not watercolored. You can paint gouache. Another reason why I like gouache is you don't have to have watercolored cardstock. You can actually, in my experience, just use regular cardstock. So if you really wanted to speed up the process of this particular design, if you like it, you could just do it on colored cardstock, and then you would have a beautiful colored background, and then your candle would be like painted right over the top. So keep that in mind if you want to skip the step, or you just don't like watercoloring, or whatever, it's not your forte. You don't have to do that to still get beautiful results. So I'm just going in and adding a few finishing touches, and this is what I meant at the beginning of the video. I'm taking a white pen and adding some detail to the candle and also to the background. Any kind of white pen will work. I will link to this one that I'm using because I actually really, really, really enjoy these pens here. I got them off of Amazon. And then I'm going to go in. Well, I'm going to peel up the tape, and some of my watercolor seeped underneath. Bummer, I didn't press down hard on the edges of the purple tape, but notice my paper did not tear, and that's everything. So that was operator error, so I just trimmed the panel down. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start building up my card. So that's some navy blue card base. That is some gold mirror cardstock from Tonic Studios. And then I'm going to figure out, this is kind of a wonky size for my candle panel because I ended up cutting it down when that wasn't my intention, but there was no way I was throwing that baby away. So before I go ahead and finish adhering, and building up the card, I need to stamp a sentiment. So I'm grabbing a sentiment. I just started going through my stash. I moved recently. All my stamps are still not organized. So this is a great stamp set from the 10 stamps. I just wanted something simple. I wanted to say, Merry Christmas, joy to the world. I just wanted something simple. Now you can see how I set my phone up in the reflection of that mirrored cardstock. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that candle panel down on the same colored cardstock I used for the base. I'll trim that down. And then I'm kind of just, I'm finagling it because, again, that panel is kind of a wonky size because I trimmed it down. So I'll go ahead and glue all this together. And as a finishing touch, I am going to add some tonic crystal glaze to the fire part of the candle. It's going to add this beautiful shine, and it's going to leave you some dimension behind. And just a few things to add finishing touches to very simple cards is everything, in my opinion. So take it out. Check out this card. I think it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm hoping you can pick up on the shine from that candle. And now I'm going to move on to the next card, okay? I'm going to show you some of the footage when I did the screen sharing when I was taking the class. But this is going to be like a Christmas tree. So I can't draw a straight line. So I'm grabbing my ruler. Anything with a straight edge would work. You could probably use the edge of a piece of cardstock if you wanted to. Then I'm going to try to add the base of the tree. And I'm following along. My computer is actually off to the side. So I'm kind of following along with what the instructor's doing, but tweaking it more to however I wanted it to look. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase those pencil lines because I don't want those pencil lines to show up in my card. And then this is a green Nuvo Aqua brush pen, watercolored pen from Nuvo. And I'm just adding squiggly lines all over the place. Right? It doesn't get any easier than this. This is where your kids can just hop on in and have a great time. Squiggly lines, and you don't have to do watercolor. You can just use pens, Crayolas, Sharpies, if you trust your kid with the Sharpie, that is. I mean, there's a lot you can do. You don't have to use these markers. And then I'm just going in and adding the bait, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm doing here, right? So then I'm going to go in and add a star at the top, and my star is so bad. It's a bad star. Now here's the look at the footage that I'm actually watching as I'm creating this card. So that's kind of what it looks like. So it's like at your own pace, your own level, pause it, whatever you want to do. She goes over everything, and I'll show you a little bit more of that in just a second. So I'm going in, adding little ornaments to my trees, which are basically little dots of color with my markers. Whatever ornament she added, like string lights. Her card was really cute. It's better than mine. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. I am not a watercolor instructor. So I'm still trying to fix my star that looks like, I don't know, like a person with their hands up, like, oh, I don't know. It's just not what I intended. Actually, my Christmas tree, there is no star at the top. I have a cat in the hat topper. Like, it looks like a cat in the hat, but it's not. But like a hat tree topper I got from Cracker Barrel like 20 years ago. And my kids are like, where's the star? Where's the angel? It's a hat, kids. Deal with it. Lucas, you're almost 14. You've had this hat for 14 years. It ain't changing. I like the hat. Anyway, so I'm going to go and stamp Merry Christmas. This time I'm stamping it down the side of the tree. You don't always have to have your sentiments horizontal, by the way. You know, shake it up, baby. Shake it up. All right, so you see I've got my ornaments, my dots. I'm scattered. Now here is the additional step that you can take. A little something something to add something to clean and simple cards. These are all drops from Nuvo. This one you saw at the beginning of my video. I have not used this in forever, and I'm squeezing the bejeebies out of it. Don't do this, by the way. And it exploded. Like, for reals. But it didn't get on my card. Can you believe it? Like, none of that goop got on my card. I'm like, are you kidding me? So pause the video, and I had to clean up the goop. Something else that's funny is that the tip that came off, I found it the next day, stuck to my sweater. Oh, God, whatever. Anyway, Nuvo drops. Okay, don't squeeze that hard. I should have just got something and unclogged the tip. None of the other Nuvo drops that I'm using here I had any issues with whatsoever, but that one, massive explosion. All right, so I've got a combination of just crystal drops and glitter accents, and I'm just going, and the glitter, I'm trying to fix my star. Like, for real, Laurel, you got to let the star go. You're not going to judge me based on my star, right? Then I'm going to add a little base to the, little glitter, little something, something down here to the end. This is what I mean. You can look in your craft room if you make simple cards. Look around and see if there's anything that you could add to give it a finishing touch, whether it's shiny, whether it's something that will add a little bit of dimension, just whatever. In my case, it was a little bit of glitter drops and some Nuvos, and thank God that blob did not get on my card. It was like shielded. It was crazy. So I just feel like adding the glitter and the drops really beef this card up to another level. Here is some footage from the actual class that I took for the tree card. So you have a gallery in all of your classes that you can choose to upload your projects to if you'd like. You can get feedback from the instructor or encouragement from students. She also, in this particular class, she provided templates that you could actually just print onto printer paper and trace over it if you want to duplicate her project. So she made it very easy. You can, in any class you take, you can, or before you take it, you can read reviews. You don't want to take a class that stinks. And here's all her projects. See, aren't they beautiful? So all the classes are broken up into like chapters, I guess, if you will. So this one is a very short class. It was not long at all, but it had the introduction, the supply, then each lesson featured the design and so forth. And I just chose to go with the tree because that was really quick and easy, and anyone can do that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really love this candle card so much. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if there is anything that you want to see from me, let me know. I want to make what you want to see. Here are a couple of other videos that might pique your fancy if you want to take it out. All the supplies I used, as always, are linked below in the description. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and thumbs up my video, please. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.